Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is what I like to call my takeover. Alright, with this said, we are going to be working today my famous brows. Don't mind the lovely hatting, this is under construction. However, I want to talk to you guys about a couple of really fun, cool techniques that you can make your eyebrows look from a nice buildable natural brow to something that's going to be super dramatic and super glamorous. So with that said, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some of the products that I like to use that I have found to be easy to use. Like, for example, one of them is this Anastasia from Beverly Hills. This is a pencil. I like to use this one for various things. I like to use it as a buildable source for the brow, as well as I like to use it for actual mapping in. There are pencils, there are almost like little felt pens that go in. They're super nice. A lot of people like them. I actually, just depends on the day how I'm feeling. I like to use them. There's really fine pencils for all you guys and gals that have really fine eyebrows. These are supposed to be more for, more precise work where you can kind of create more of a natural hair stroke form, which I think is really, really cool. There is also powders, which I don't owe a powder brow product, but I do own a couple of nice brown shadows, and you can use any kind of shadow that works for your eyebrow. You can do any fun eyebrow with a purple eyeshadow. You can get creative and do whatever you feel like works best and suits you best. Last but not least, well, not last but not least, but another really good one, most of the popular ones, is one that is going to be more of a pomade or a cream. It just depends on how I'm feeling. I don't have one right now. I just finished mine. But I do have little samples. I'm, rearranging my hair color as well as my eyebrow color. And that's important for it to look really cool and natural and enhance the tone of your skin. Yeah, so with those, you can pair them with concealers to really carve and make sure that your eyebrow looks really nice and sharp. So with that said, we will be recording a couple of really fun videos on how to use them separately, and you guys can kind of go from there and see what works. So with pomades, I want to talk really quick about, like, for example, this is the Anastasia pomade. It comes with a little baby brush, but with the brush you can go in and work whatever detail you need to work. This is a clean pen. I like to call them pens when they're nice and sharp like that. You can go in and if you wanted to create little baby hair strokes to get that unibrow on, you absolutely can. So that's really cool. Now with let's go in with, for example, my favorite. This is my go-to. What I like to normally and typically do is I like to go in and start mapping where the eyebrow is. Now, a lot of you guys might be like, what does mapping mean? Everybody has a different face shape and everybody has a different type of structure to their eyebrow. However, there is a structured point which allows that best measurement for your face. So the typical aspect of it is mid-nostril to the end of the nostril. So you want to go mid-nostril up right here, and that's where the brow seems to start. All right, we got that good. So from there, you're going to measure to the center of your eye from that mid-nostril, and that should give you right there your arch, which my arch lays right there, thank God. And then you're gonna go in. I personally like to stretch this one a little bit further and make my tail just a slightly bit longer than naturally. I feel like it just gives it this extra nice, like, stretch to the brow. So, I like to pull it down all the way to here. Just gently stroke it and it'll look really good. However, those are the three eyebrow points. So you may be asking, what are these products going to, fit your need? How will they fit your need? So I like to say that pomades typically fit more of the need for the active person that does, either glam makeup or as well is pretty active during the day. When it sets in place, and it doesn't move, which is really, really good. Most of them are waterproof or water resistant. Yeah, and also the types of felt pens. I have noticed that there's really cool ones that are also water resistant, and those tend to last a very long time. Pencils, though, as well as powders, I don't think they last as long. However, you can combine them to lock them in. Like, for example, I feel like pencils give you a really beautiful natural brow shape, but they don't tend to last. So if you have more combo to oily skin or you sweat often, I would suggest getting either a sealant product. This is an Anastasia Beverly Hills. There are many products out in the market that you can utilize and will benefit you, or you can go back in with powder of whatever desired shade and set it like so. If you are a big sweater or really big oily, you can do three. You can do the pomade, you can do the powder, as well as you can do the brush. Just be careful not to make it extremely heavy. So I'm gonna give you a couple of really fun tips and tricks on how to get those eyebrows looking really nice and neat. So let's start with a brow pencil. With my brow pencil, I like to shape my eyebrow. A really cool tip that I have, or that I like to use and makes things a lot easier for me, is that from my regular natural relaxed facial, I like to go and raise my eyebrows. I feel like it gives me the exact shape that I'm looking for. So I just like to raise my brow and I start just stroking very, very gently. In my opinion, the stroking is the key to success. So when you go in hard, you'll be able to tell that big difference. And maybe in an Instagram picture, that'll look really cool. However, in real life, if you're looking or going for a natural build look, this won't work very, very well. So I like to go in, like I said, from the bottom, dragging little by little, and then connecting. If you can see, my eyebrow right here kind of falls into an empty bald spot. Sometimes I fill it in, sometimes I don't. Just depends on how I'm feeling. Let me pull my handy dandy mirror here. Once I have the base of the brow, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can always go back and clean it and perfect it. So don't stress if this isn't looking to the expectation. This is all about building and making it the best it can be. So practice does make perfect. When you go from like really, really soft, gentle products, there's a product from Benefit that I used to use a lot, and it was called Gimme Brow. And at that point in time, I was like, my God, that's too much. I don't like the way that looks. That's so heavy. And, when I kind of tried switching to, that little bit of, what can you even call that? A little bit of a, I don't even want to call it a pomade. I can't think of the name, sorry. But that product, to a pencil, I was like, I don't even know how to use the pencil. They're too strong, they're too dark. So, I mean, have patience, practice does make perfect. So, going back into the brow, I do like to go in and start gently building it upwards. So once I have my frame down, I start lifting the frame up. Just gentle, nice strokes. Precision makes the difference here. So you can already, in my opinion, I think this is starting to look a little come together. So sometimes it just depends on the day and how crazy I want my eyebrow to look. But if I want it really natural, I also like to go in, because as you can see, this is a slanted pencil. So I like to go in and almost follow the pattern of my hair, so there's not a harsh line. So once I get to that half point where my eyebrow is built, I go in from, how can I explain this the best? From the inside outside, because I can always dissipate it if I start inside out. But if I go from front here and I start building it out, I might go too heavy in the center or the frame, and it's just gonna look super done. So just gently start stroking it upwards. It's okay if you hold your breath for like 2.5 seconds. Remember keeping that frame. And then I like to go in and start dragging right along the top hairlines. I don't tweeze the top hairlines. Typically I do tweeze myself. I don't like to go in and put my eyebrows onto anybody's hands. I know it's kind of silly, but they do frame your face, so I try to be careful to who am I going with. I don't have really a preference if I want to wax or if I want to tweeze, but I do tweeze at home myself most of the time. So once you've got that, if you're not going to wear a lot of makeup or anything like that, a really great tip to do this is brush them out really quick because they're going to smudge a little bit. So once you're brushed, I like to go in for a Q-tip. And this is where you can also go in with, if, let's say, because you can see right here, I have some hair as well as I have some of the makeup, but it makes it look a little bit more indent. And I don't like that. I like them to look as upward as they can, so I want to make sure I clean that and make that hair as invisible as I can. I need to tweeze, so please excuse me. I did not imagine I was going to be recording this today. So just a little bit of water if you're going to be cleaning it with no makeup. And just go very gently, very cautiously with the shape you've already made. And you can see it almost picks up the little bits of excess that you don't see, or that might make the eyebrow look a little bit messy. So you can always go in with this one to do any final touches or any final work. This is also a lighter shade that I am using on my eyebrow currently, which I think is really cool because it gives it dimension. So I like to go back in very gently, and I like to follow what I already did, just to kind of reinforce. Move your head. So moving your head really does make a difference as well. So don't try to stay like this, because if you want to go in a little bit with your angle and elongate, you can. So move your head to what best comfort level you have. Brushing is key to make sure that brow looks natural. So for the sake of it, can you see a difference between the brows? So just looking at, for example, this eyebrow, you can see how this eyebrow doesn't look bad on its own, but it just looks a little sparse. It looks a little dead, not so alive, or doesn't give my face such an illusion to an expression. However, if you look at this brow, you can already see how it looks like bam, bam, ow, you know, it gives you a little bit of emotion to your life. So I think it just makes a really big difference, and I'm very happy with that. I'm going to use this concealer. This is a Tarte product. I enjoy Tarte. I like to use just a little bit, just go in very, very carefully, very gently. You can always add more product, but not always take off product. So I want to go in today with this one. This one is a Sonia Kashuk I really like her brushes. They're very affordable as well as good quality. So that's nice. So you want to go in. Again, very gently, starting to carve that brow. And this is if you guys want to do this extra step, even if you're not wearing makeup, or if you want to go in and do this to clean it up if you have a full face already. It just depends on you. I like to drag it just the tiniest bit downwards. So when I blend, if I put too much in it, it won't go to the eyebrow and I'm like, oh, I gotta do it again. So cool thing about this this Tarte concealer, this is creaseless concealer. I like this one because it's very, very natural. It tends to have a very neutral to warm, if you are into those shades, or cooler tones that are a little bit more skin-like, which is really, really cool. So keep grabbing from our little palette here as needed. So I also like to go just the softest amount on the top, and you want to brush upwards. And again, just keep in mind, you know, as get comfortable too as you feel like will give you the best ammunition to take on this brow and make it the best that you can. So, now that we have the outline, I think it makes a difference. It looks pretty cool. Let's go in and blur it out just a smidge. You can use a fluff, or even the same one, just depends on you and your want. I just trying to make this look as seamless as possible for all you guys that are not gonna be wearing that full face, or even a face in general, of makeup. So here's an important thing. Do you see how I over concealed just a little bit there? And you can see how it's starting to change the pattern of the brow. You gotta be careful, and it's okay. Don't stress if you know you went in too far. These brows take a second, you know what I'm saying? Just keep blurring. Make sure you can always go back. Make sure you make this as seamless as you absolutely can, and then go back in. That's why we have this trusty friend. This is our Smashbox. This is in color. This is the Brow Tech Matte Pencil, and this is dark brown shade. So that's when you can go in and rearrange and refix certain things with just attention to detail. I always say, with beauty things, you want to do things that are quality, not quantity. So just going in for attention to detail, taking all these steps and try to make them smaller steps makes a huge difference. So again, that's when you would go in and kind of brush to make sure that you're not looking too blocky. Alright, so that's one brow done. What do you guys think? Do you think it makes a difference? Alright, so if you want to decor your eyebrow a little bit more, you can go in with a little bit of highlight. Some brow products do contain them both. Let me see here. I have misplaced my cap, which is fine. Here it is. It's just a skinny little cap. You can go in and decor. Because of the holiday, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Moonchild palette. I do enjoy Anastasia's brow products, as well as some of, or most of her products. You don't necessarily have to use these products to get the look, but you can absolutely do whatever you feel like it's gonna do best for you. So today, because we are in the season, I am going to be going in with this little nice kind of cool tone violet. And I just want to go in and make it a little bit smoky and sexy. So I have a little bit of my pencil. You can dab a little bit. And you can go in. And make it look like you almost had a little bit of a frostbite down there. You can kind of see a little bit of a purple glow. If you want to intensify, you can mix colors or go back in. In my case, I think I want to stick to this purple. Live the purple fantasy right now. So when you highlight, you want to go right in this area. And the reason why you want to go in this area, almost like a C form, is because exactly where that arch is, if you put some light under there, it's gonna visually make it look a little bit brighter and bigger. So your eyebrows are gonna look a little bit more lifted, which is great. You can also put a little bit under here. Just make sure that if you are putting down right under there, you are blurring and blending. So this way, when you go in, your brows look cool. I want to try a little bit of this IT Cosmetic shade. Let's see. This is called Brilliant by IT Cosmetics. This is more of a champagne brilliant type of tone. And I want to put it on top of this purple to see if this will kind of make it a little bit brighter. What do you guys think? Can you see a difference of, like, for example, this side? Or this side? I think it looks well groomed. Well kept. A little bit bright. Not too bad. What do you guys think? Make it different? Alright, sorry. I got excited for a moment there. So yeah, this is a really quick trick on how to do the brows. If you guys have any questions, we will be posting a couple of videos or inserting a couple of clips on how to do different techniques. If you like a specific technique and you want a little bit more advisement on how to do them, and you feel like I am a good option to do so, please leave comments down below. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. If you do not, you're missing out on content, I'm telling you. Like I said, you know, you're looking at me crazy right now because I got a half a brow and like some weird thing going on in my hair. But with that said, I hope you guys are having a great holiday season. This is Duhamel in the takeover. If you guys do enjoy the videos, like I said, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Stay tuned, more fun stuff is coming.